Welcome back to Ozarks Tonight. I'm Heather Lewis. A low water crossing in Taney County has caught the attention of Congressman Billy Long. 3 people have died while floating on Bull Creek at this same spot. Representative Long joins us tonight to tell us why he's now involved in this situation. First, thank you for being here.
You bet. Thanks for the invite.
So let's begin with the situation. So the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers actually issued a permit to a private landowner to build this. And from what we're hearing, they never inspected it after it was built.
Right, which they're not required to do. So that's what really piqued my interest when I first saw the news reports and started reading about the story. I've dealt with the Corps of Engineers for years, and they're always very precise and exacting on what they want. And to think that the Army Corps of Engineers wouldn't have gone back and inspected something they issued a permit on was just mind-boggling to me. But as I started peeling back the onion and looking closer, I found out they're not required to do that. If you can imagine, so they only inspect about 20% of the projects that they approve, and that was really disconcerting to me. And so I wanted to go down there and physically look at the property, talk to the colonel down in Little Rock of the Army Corps of Engineers, Colonel No, and kind of see, what we can do to prevent this from happening in the future. That's the whole thing. It's, unfortunately too late to do anything about the folks that have deceased already, but surely to goodness we can make some changes and prevent this from happening again.
Have they been out to inspect it since this latest fatality that happened?
Yes, but that was the first time that they were out to inspect. And again, I'm not casting aspersions on the Corps, because what their dictate is they have to comply with the Clean Water Act, period. Case closed. No safety concerns whatsoever, if you can imagine. So as long as you're going to build something, the farmer down there, he had land on both sides of the river. He wanted to build a low water crossing and to get from one side to the other, one field to the other. And that happens all over the United States. The Army Corps deals with a lot of these situations like this. And so the farmer, Mr. Johnson, goes in, applies for his permit, shows them his drawings, and, they approved them, and he went out and built it. But there's a country music song that goes out of hand. I think it's called Out of Hand. It's talking about a relationship, not a low water crossing, but how did it get so out of hand? Out of hand. And if you see this, it's a foot taller than it was supposed to be, 18 feet wider. Now this is according to the landowner, 18 feet wider. When I went down and looked at it, it looks a lot more like a dam than a low water crossing. I think it's kind of a misnomer to even call it a low water crossing.
And that's something that I think floaters are unaware of when they're actually on the river. They just see this little dip and they're not quite sure what it is. So that seems to be what has caused some of these accidents on the water as well. And it creates a bit of a hydraulic, from what I understand, that pulls them under. That's
what I'm given to understand too. I'm certainly no engineer, but when you stand on the side of it and look down, it looks like a ride at an amusement park. You would, be glad to take a tube over the edge of it if it wasn't so deadly, if it didn't form this hydraulic. But on the day that Mrs. Farrell passed away, it was 6 feet over flood stage. The 2 folks that deceased last year, it was 12 feet over flood stage. And I have a young man that works for me, he's 5'10", and I had him stand on the low water bridge on the concrete and raise his hand above his head, and there was another 4 or 5 feet up to the debris in the tree behind him. And so the current and torrent and going down through there, it's, who's to say if this was 1 foot lower like it was supposed to be, if, it wouldn't created that hazard. But again, I want to reiterate to the folks that the Corps has no obligation to consider safety, and I think that should change, and hopefully that's something we can get together and come up with some kind of an agreement. I'd like to see you have to get an engineering permit to build a low water bridge. This was supposed to have 90-degree angles. Again, this is according to the landowner, Mr. Johnson. It was supposed to come off at 90 degrees. It came off at 45, big wings on each side, just completely different than what he took his plans in and presented. So how does that happen? How did it get so out of hand? You can look at Bull Creek down there and you can go see several low water crossings, which are truly low water crossings. One of them is just a slab of concrete on the bed of the creek. And another one is elevated, but it's completely wide open under it. And this has, it's just it got out of hand.
So you spoke with Mr. Johnson as well,
yes,
the landowner.
Yeah.
Where do we go from here? How does this problem get fixed specifically in this spot?
Well, now in that spot, the Corps is going to demand that he remove 12 inches. This is another interesting part of the story. They're going to make him take away 12 inches off the top. I got news for you. The top 6 inches is concrete. The rest of it's fill, and I'm sure there's rebar and things, but it's only 6 inches of concrete. So if you take off 12, you're going to be down to the fill material, which is going to wash out. So I don't know, but just common sense, I would think that it's going to go away, and they're going to have to start over. He's going to have to reapply and come back with a different permit. But again, by that time, hopefully, we can demand that they do have to look at safety. When you're talking about navigable waters, a lot of people use Bull Creek, and they can only float it when it's up, when it's in flooding, a flood stage. So.
That's right. And so what is your plan of attack here as a congressman looking to change the way the Army Corps of Engineers tackles this? How long are we looking at for those changes to be possibly made?
That I can't answer. I just know that we're all on top of it right now, talking to the colonel daily. And of course, he brings up things to me, Billy, we're understaffed, we're underfunded. We can only inspect 20% of the projects that we do. And so those are the things I want to have to take to my colleagues in Washington and say, hey, we've got to get more funding in there. We've got to have an ability. I would like for people to, just to draw something on a napkin pretty much, and I'm not saying how this happened, but if just taking a set of plans, not necessarily stamped or architectural plans or an engineer stamp or anything, just take in plan. Go ahead and build that, and we'll come out and inspect it, or it says we can inspect it. I believe it doesn't say we will. And so it got out of hand. It just got bigger and bigger, taller, wider, 45-degree angles instead of 90-degree angles. So there's a lot of difference. So, and again, if you dropped it 1 foot, you'd probably still have 3 deceased people. I don't think that 1 foot off the top of that was going to make any difference. But this is one thing. The landowner has been told he has to take 12 inches off the top. That's going to be his decision whether he does or not, or how he does it. And if he does, can he salvage it, or is he going to have to just might want to buy stock in some dynamite companies, because they might be down there blowing it up and getting it out of there and then building, a new one.
All right, this is Congressman Billy Long. Thank you so much for stopping by our studio to tell us about your efforts in making Bull Creek safer.
Thank you.
We'll be right back.